Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm really pleased to be bringing to you Gustavo Tondello and announcing him as one of our excellent keynote speakers at Gamification Europe on the Learning and Education Day. Gustavo has done a lot of research and writing on the subject of gamification, particularly around player traits, user type hexad, now gamified personalized design. Is that right? Something like that.
Yes, that's
Gustavo,
right.
introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about your background, your gamification journey, and what you're going to be looking at.
Sure. Well, my background is in computer science. I have worked as a software developer for several years, and about 5 years ago, I discovered about gamification, and I got really interested in learning more and applying it and doing research about it. So I spent the last 5 years investigating about gameful design and how to improve the gameful design methods that we have as part of my PhD, but also now that the PhD is finished, I continue doing some research on the topic and also some consulting, helping people apply everything that we created. So during these years, I focused, as I said, mainly on how to design personalized solutions, because everyone talks about how it would be great if we could personalize our designs, but it's not easy, and sometimes it seems that it's going to cost too much, so it's not worth. And I have been
So,
studying
I'm
then how to
going to
do it.
interrupt. Are you gonna tell us some key tips on how to do it at a lower cost then?
Yes, exactly. I have been doing some experiences as part of my studies and implementing some designs that were simple. As a PhD student, I implemented all by myself. So if I could do it alone, I'm sure that anyone can do it, even with a short budget for a project. And not only my research, but also other researchers had shown that even some simple things, like even just letting people switch some things on or off, you think that's not going to matter that much. But just by having that choice, people appreciate that very much. And the user experience is just better. They just feel more engaged with your system just because of that, right? So that's what I want to talk about. Just that even some simple things, and then I'm going to explain my talk, some of the things that I did and some of the things that you can do as well that can start improving things. And of course, if you want to do big things, you can do big things as well, but you can start small.
Of course. So you can start small, and this gives you an approach, a methodology, I guess,
Yeah.
to applying it. Hey, like me, you've attended a few gamification conferences. What's your experience at different ones? I think, if I remember correctly, you've been to GamiLearn and Carplay.
Yeah. These are two very different kinds of conferences because Game Learn, we have lots of professionals that have applied gamification to their projects and are showing what they did. Um, on KaiPlay, it's an academic conference, so you get a lot of researchers that have done controlled studies and have seen what the results are. Of course, things are always a bit different when you do a controlled study in a lab or when you go and do something in the wild. But that has been some of my efforts these years have been to try to bring these two worlds together because we can learn a lot from each other. People who actually go and do it in the wild can learn from the experiments of the scientists, the nuances about what can work or not, but scientists can also work from people who are doing it in real applications. Um, that things
Yeah, that's
sometimes are
that's
different
exactly
in
where I'm
practice.
coming from as well. It's why I
Yeah.
attended Kaiplay last year, and why I'm attending Kaiplay next week as well. Are you going
Yeah, I am going, yeah,
online?
going without leaving my office because it's going to be online. So yeah, I'm going to be watching the talks.
Is there anything particular we should keep an eye out for at Kaiplay?
I mean, everything
There's a
is
lot of.
interesting, and just check the programming and see what resonates with you. If you're more interested about games, there are things for you. If you're more interested in free play, there are things for you. If you're more interested in the hard science, there are sessions. If you're more interested in practical applications, yeah, there's something for everybody.
I would concur with that. And what about Gamification Europe? What are you looking forwards to apart from your own talk, obviously?
Yeah. So very glad that I will be able to participate of Gamification Europe this year online. I have been meaning to go to Gamification Europe for a few years, but unfortunately I could not in the past years. I will be able to be there. Of course, go and see my talk, but besides that, all the other talks seem very interesting. I'm particularly interested in David's talk about virtual worlds for learning. I think that's a very interesting idea. The other day, Toby's talk about how to apply infinite gamification to a practical and very needed application nowadays. So really looking forward for these talks.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Gustavo. We're really looking forward to seeing you and hearing you keynote finally at Gamification Europe. Taking it online has really enabled us to bring the Canadians in force to come and speak.
Indeed.
All right.